Hello everyone, welcome to the lesson Calculus ACC 2016 question number 22, that is paper 2. The question reads, the gradient function of a curve is given by the expression 2x plus 1 if the curve passes through the point negative 4, 6. A, find 1, the equation of the curve, that is 3 marks. Then 2, the values of x at which the curve cuts the x-axis, 3 marks. Then the last part of the question, determine the area enclosed by the curve on the x-axis. So let us go straight to the first part. Now for the first part, you require to find the equation of the curve. You're given the gradient function of the curve, which is 2x plus 1. Then you're given the point at which there's a point on the curve passes through this point. So given the gradient function of the curve, how do you find the equation? And also you're given one point where the curve passes. So note the gradient function of the curve is dy over dx. That is a gradient function. And it is 2x plus 1. To find the equation of the curve, you integrate the gradient function. So to get the equation of the curve, we shall integrate the gradient function with respect to x. So integrate these 2x, you get 2x squared divided by 2. Integrate 1, you get x, and then you have to add the constant of integration. When you get that, the next thing you get is the value of the constant. What will assist you to get the value of the constant? It is the point that you're given where the curve passes. The curve passes through this point. So we're going to use negative 4 and 6. And you're going to substitute these values. X is negative 4. X is negative 4. And y is 6. So substitute these values in this equation. When x is negative 4, y is 6. So y is equals to 6 is equals to. And then it's good to simplify these. 2x squared is the same as, supposed to have written this here. So this one will be y is equals to x squared plus x plus c. So y is 6, x is negative 4. So x squared be negative 4 squared plus x. X is negative 4. Then plus the constant. Now with these, we'll be able now to get the value of the constant. So 6 is equals to negative 4 squared is 16. Then plus negative 4, this will be minus 4. Then plus c. So when you work out the value of c here, you will get that c will be negative 6. Now you have the value of the constant. The equation therefore will be given by x squared plus x, then minus 6. So that is how you get the equation of the curve. We go to the second part of the question. And the second part of the question is the values of x at which the curve cuts the x-axis. Now, if we assume that we have this is a sketch, we assume that this is the y-axis, this is the x-axis. If we assume that the curve looks like this, we require to find the values of x at which the curve cuts the x-axis. So this is the curve, it cuts the x-axis at this point. So how do you identify that these are the x-intercepts? We are required to get the values of the x-intercepts. And how do you know at this point where the curve cuts the x-axis? At x-intercept, the value of y is equals to 0. The values of y, these 2 points, will be equal to 0. So what we need to do is just to take the equation of the curve and substitute y with 0, since at x-intercept, that is at the point where the curve cut the x-axis, the value of y is equals to 0. So y is equals to x squared plus x minus 6. Y will be 0, so you'll have x squared plus x minus 6. You notice that this one is a quadratic equation. This one is a quadratic equation. And how do we solve a quadratic equation? How do we solve a quadratic equation? That is very easy. Using a suitable method, you can use the quadratic formula. You can also use the factorization. I'll use factorization. So just look for two numbers whose product is -6 and sum is 1. These are -2 and 3. Be -2 and 3. Yes. So we have 0 is equals to x squared. So I write x using -2 and 3. So this will be -2x plus 3x, subtract 6. So 0 is equals to x squared, subtract, I can just ignore this part and just go straight and factorize these. So let me factorize this. So from here, so 0 is equals to x is common. So x subtract 2, then plus 3 is common between 3 and 3x and -6. X subtract 2, like that. So you notice you will have 0 is equals to x plus 3, x minus 2. So therefore, x plus 3 is equals to 0. So the first value of x will be -3. And the other one, x subtract 2 is equals to 0. So x is equals to 2. So you have these two values. So you've already got the values of x at which the curve cut the x-axis. So we've got to get the x-intercept in that question. So those are the two values. The last part of the question, determine the area enclosed by the curve and the x-axis. Determine the area enclosed by the curve and the x-axis. So when you go back to this sketch here, this is the area that you're required to get. Already have identified that these values of x, one here is -3, and the other one here is 2. So how do you get the area enclosed by the x-axis in that curve? We simply integrate. We need to integrate function of this curve with the limit beginning from the lowest, -3, the upper. So the function of the curve is x squared plus x subtract 6. Integrate this one with respect to x. So this will give, integrate x squared, you get x cubed divided by 3. Integrate x, you get x squared divided by 2. Integrate 6, -6, you get -6x. Then this one, constant of integration. The limit, -3 to 2. So from there, now to get the area, we shall begin by substituting the upper limit, the x value, that is the upper limit, substitute 2 in this function. So the first one is 2 cubed, when this divided by 3, subtract 2 squared divided by 2, subtract 6, x is 2. You can ignore c, since if you continue with c, you get subtracted and you get 0. So you can just ignore c at this point. Then subtract. Now you have to substitute 3, the lower limit here, 3 in this function. So you get -3 cubed divided by 3 plus 3 squared divided by 2, subtract 6, -3. And then you don't need to put that constant. So now you can work out 2 cubed is 8 over 3. Give 8 over 3 like that. Subtract this is a 4 divided by 2, you get 2. Then this is a plus that. This is supposed to be plus x is okay now. Then subtract 12. Negative 3 cubed will be negative 27 divided by 3 to give negative 9. Then 3 squared will give 9 to 2. Then negative 6 times negative 3, we get positive 18. Use a calculator to work out these. 8 over 3, subtract 2. Now these are add. To add, look at these. It came from here. 2 squared. But this will be 8 over 3 plus 2. Subtract 12 over, this is 12. Now working out this one is a calculator. 8 over 3 plus 2, subtract 12. This one will give negative 7 and a third. Then work out these. This will give negative 9 plus 9 over 2 plus 18. Use a calculator to do that. You get get positive 13. Get positive 13 and a half. Now work out these. What is negative 7 and a third? Subtract 13 and a half. You get negative 20 and 5 over 6. And since you're getting the area, you can't have a negative area. You ignore the negative. So ignore the negative sign since you're getting the area. This just simply means that the area is below the x-axis. That's the meaning of that negative. And so this one will give 20 and 5 over 6 square units. So that is how you're supposed to solve that question. Thank you.